I'm standing in front of UT Veterinary, where a canine was airlifted for emergency treatment. Stay tuned.
And boat safety is top of mind as summer rolls in. We need to remember to stay safe on the water.
Coming up, a preview of Tennessee's baseball series against 13th ranked Alabama.
Following a loss yesterday afternoon, the series continues with the doubleheader today.
Welcome to TVC News. I'm Caitlin Kirkpatrick.
And I'm Aubrey Curran. We come to you today as UTPD and the campus community mourns the loss of Sergeant Phil Whaley. After nearly 2 decades of serving with the UTPD, Whaley passed away earlier this month following a courageous battle with cancer. Now the colleagues who knew him best are remembering the legacy he left behind.
He was loud, in a good way. Storyteller, loved cracking jokes, confident in his role, measured in his approach. He was a bright soul. Just a great guy.
Were you close with him?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, every day. It's pretty tough. Like losing a sibling. Like just losing someone in your family. And 1 minute they're there and the next minute they're gone.
Actually met him the first day that I interviewed here. He was like my first impression of the department, and I was like, all right, this guy's funny. So at least if I get the job, I know that I'll be working with someone that's got a great sense of humor. I miss him.
If he were sitting here right now, what would you say to him?
He'd probably be making fun of me. Joking. Just I love him. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for being a mentor. Thank you for being a friend. And just thank you for being you. He made the tough days so much more enjoyable, and he made the great days even better. So yeah, I'd say thank you.
Yeah, I also asked Patterson and Dillard what made Whaley love UT so much. They both said it just became a part of who he was, and now it always will be. We've also got my full interview with Police Chief Sean Patterson posted on our YouTube channel at the Volunteer channel if you want to take a look.
And another officer was injured in the line of duty this week as K-9 Officer Luca of the Clay County Sheriff's Office was rushed to UT Medical Center after exposure to some dangerous chemicals.
Our Dawson Durrett has more on Luca's fight for life. Dawson.
Yeah, that's right. Now, as mentioned, this was the first time a canine was airlifted in the state of Tennessee. Now, Luca was for acute lung injury. Now, I was able to speak with an expert in the critical care realm at the University of Tennessee, and she told me more about Luca's condition.
He initially came off of the helicopter and into our ICU. We performed our initial triage examination.
Her team treated Luca as any other respiratory condition, monitoring breathing steadily. Now Luca is already back to North Carolina for recovery. Best of wishes, Luca. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Dawson. We are certainly glad Luca is home safe and sound.
Yeah, some good news right there. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and the Vols Walk for Sexual Assault Awareness happened Tuesday afternoon. Here's our Kaylee Smith with more information about the event and how to receive help if you've ever experienced any form of sexual misconduct.
Students, faculty, and staff walked around campus to raise awareness about sexual assault.
I'm here today to help in the cause to support for sexual assault awareness. I think it's very important that we bring this sexual awareness.
Relationship and Sexual Violence Prevention Coordinator Leah Dreyer said the event was a collaborative effort between departments.
It's really about the whole campus coming together as a community and showing survivors that we support them and care, and really showing that volunteer spirit.
About 20 partners were at the event, including Title IX.
It's great that these stands and organizations are here to help support students in areas where they feel that they can't have a voice.
The Title IX office aims to keep campus safe by preventing sexual harassment, sexual exploitation, and retaliation, and they provide support to those involved in the Title IX process.
Director and Senior Deputy Title IX Coordinator Laura Bryant says students can stop by, call, or email the Title IX office to get help.
Students and employees can go through really difficult things, and if they do, there's support for them, and that we're here to stand by survivors, let them know that there is hope.
Students can fill out an online Title IX incident reporting form or report misconduct to the Sexual Assault Center or Family Justice Center.
When a student chooses to come into the Office of Title IX, they don't have to share any details about their experience that they don't want to. We are not investigators, we're the supporters. The harm that they experience does not have to have occurred on campus or while they are a UT student.
In Knoxville, Kaylee Smith, TVC News.
For more information, check out the official office of the Title IX website. There you can learn about what it means to get support, what it means to initiate an investigation, and more.
With warmer weather here in Knoxville, more students are heading to the water, and with that comes some serious safety concerns. Our Maggie Schwarking takes us to the lake to show us how to stay safe.
As temperatures rise, more University of Tennessee students are heading to the docks. But when I asked UT student Colin Cadwell if he had ever taken a boating safety course, his answer might surprise you.
I did actually. My grandfather back in Nantucket, he actually taught the class.
And when his roommate Baylor Metcalf took a similar boating safety course, he said these were his biggest takeaways.
The amount of rules there is a pretty thick book, and there's a lot of rules and about the buoys and the no-wake zones.
TWRA Public Information Officer Matt Cameron says that boating is not anything like driving a car.
It's a whole different world than being on the water and operating a watercraft.
And boats require safety tools that cars do not.
So boats do require minimal safety equipment on board by state law, and generally speaking, every passenger on board a boat has to have a wearable Coast Guard approved personal flotation device.
And for Cadwell, he took a safety course on what to keep in your boat.
It was like a 3-day camp we went to. They taught us sailing and like just basic safety, you know, having your life jackets, a whistle, a flare, a stowable, a compass, your registration, all that type of stuff.
Know the rules, bring the gear, and put safety first. In East Tennessee for TVC News, I'm Maggie Schwarking.
We'll be giving you that weekend weather report so you can get out there on the water and practice those new safety skills.
Yeah, hopefully hoping for some sunshine this weekend.
Professor of Practice Melanie Pfizer is making her mark in media across Knoxville with her newly released investigative report about the Tennessee Valley Authority, one of the largest power suppliers in the nation, and their involvement with the Bitcoin company BitDeer. Our Molly Pokawalt breaks this case down for you.
Professor Pfizer is stretching her skills beyond the classroom and into the community.
In about 2023, I started looking at incentives or money, basically, that the Tennessee Valley Authority was giving to cryptocurrency mines. So essentially, they're using a lot of power for people to be able to mine, or companies to be able to mine Bitcoin.
Pfizer says TVA promised $18 million to the Bitcoin company BitDeer.
And so I did a Freedom of Information Act request.
And when that was rejected, she refused to retreat.
I filed an appeal, and then they did release some documents, but then they were fully redacted.
And with questions left unanswered, she contacted the Reporters Committee for the Freedom of the Press, where she met her lawyer, Paul McAdoo.
We did an administrative appeal for her with regard to the request.
November of last year, we settled the case.
And found TVA was giving BitDeer upwards of $21 million.
This is in the public interest. If you read about the TVA, there's a history there of transparency issues.
And not just the public interest, but also the students here at UTK.
This is the kind of journalism that I think we're going to need going forward, because AI can't do this kind of thing.
In Knoxville, Molly Pokawalt, TVC News.
Now, the TVA hasn't worked with BitDeer directly since 2023, but since the contract expired, Pfizer has been able to access all of that information, which led to the settlement. Pfizer mentioned this isn't about her at all, and it's about getting transparency for all of Knoxville and beyond. There's some new faces at the helm for the Student Government Association. Our Whitney Reamer sat down with them to learn more on what it means to win the election.
For the first time in UT history,
we are the first 2 women elected together to serve as student body president and student body vice president. There's never been 2 females in those roles at the same time.
I really had this overwhelming sense of joy and excitement that students, were confident in me.
It is a crazy feeling because it's so hard to believe that so many people voted for you and clicked your name on the website when they went to vote.
Caroline Marcus and Annabeth Thompson.
We felt like this was a passion for us, and we knew that this is where we wanted to be.
So it is one of the greatest opportunities of my life to have that honor with her. She's my best friend.
Are leading UT into the 2026-2027 school year.
No matter what hard work lies ahead, I know that I'm so excited to do it, and I will give it my all throughout this next year.
We balance well working together and being very good friends outside of school.
And I've shared the same feeling with my vice presidential-elect, Annabeth, and we are just so both honored to be elected to serve the student body.
With goals of connecting and engaging with UT students.
Because we want students to know that we're here for them.
We really want to work on the communication aspect and really be there and meet students where they're at.
And empowering women to step up and chase their dreams just like they did.
We hope that it shows other women that they can be here and that they are welcome in these positions. And it's exciting for us to lead the university together as the first female duo.
In Knoxville, Whitney Reamer, TVC News.
While Marcus and Thompson may be the first, they hope to leave an impact that ensures they won't be the last.
Tennessee baseball took a loss to start the series against Alabama. Coming up, we're going to let you know what they need to do to bounce back and win the series.
And an SEC championship is on its way back to Rocky Top. Coming up, we'll dive deeper into Lady Vols golf's recent triumph.
The Volunteer Channel works around the clock to curate UT news, sports, and event coverage. Best way to stay on top of all of it is to follow our Instagram at TVC News Now. You can scan this QR code right here to get right to the page. All of our content is created by UT students with the Big Orange community in mind. The Volunteer Channel thanks you for your support. Go Vols.
Welcome back to TVC News. And Caitlin, it's Bama Week here on Rocky Top, meaning that both Tennessee baseball and softball are taking on the Tide this weekend.
To get us all caught up on what's in store this weekend, let's head over to Jeremy and Jordan with this week's Rocky Top Sports Report.
Thank you, guys. Good afternoon, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Rocky Top Sports Report. I'm Jeremy Knopf.
And I'm Jordan Smitherman.
Alabama has had a lot of success on the diamond in both baseball and softball this year.
Both teams are ranked in the top 25, meaning that this weekend is going to be a tough one for the Big Orange.
Now, TVC has teams at both Lindsey Nelson Stadium and Sherry Parker Lee Stadium today. Get ready to break it all down. And to start, let's head over to Allie Campbell and Lauren Gimpler inside Lindsey Nelson Stadium, where last night the Vols got a taste of just how challenging this weekend's going to be. Guys, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Now, Tennessee baseball is hosting 13th ranked Alabama in this weekend series. Now, the series kicked off last night where the Vols ultimately dropped the game 12-8, dropping an early lead, which came from a Garrett Wright home run in the first inning. But dropping an early lead, something we've seen a lot out of the Vols do this season, especially in SEC play.
Now the series continues with a doubleheader beginning this afternoon at 2:30 p.m. And something to watch in these games is the Tennessee bullpen. Following 4 starting innings from Landon Mack yesterday, Josh Elander threw 6 different arms, and none of which were able to keep up that early momentum. Now, first pitch for Game 2 coming from Tegan Coons, followed by first pitch for Game 3 coming from Evan Blanco.
Yeah, a doubleheader tonight for the Vols, hoping to win the series. But for a more in-depth preview, make sure you tune in to Torch Sports today live at 2 p.m. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, guys. Now focusing on the Lady Vols, they'll begin their series against the Tide tomorrow. To help you get a grasp on what the Lady Vols need to do to have some success, let's head over to Connor Whitney and Chance Jones inside Sherry Parker Lee Stadium.
Thanks, guys. It's Senior Day weekend for Tennessee softball here at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium as they welcome Alabama in a clash of two top 10 teams. It's the biggest series of the weekend it's the biggest series of the season for the Lady Vols. Not just SEC tournament implications, but SEC tournament and NCAA tournament implications as well, Chance.
Absolutely. If the Lady Vols can come out with a series win this weekend, there's a good chance they're in a position to host a super regional into the NCAA tournament. It's a big weekend for them. Tennessee does a lot of things really well, but unfortunately for them, Alabama also does a lot of those things really well. It's very much if you can do it, I can do it better, back and forth kind of series this week. I'm expecting the pitching to be dominant as ever. That they're going to need that because the Lady Vols offense has struggled as of late just a little bit. So hopefully they'll get that turned around because it's going to be a shootout this weekend, an absolute all-out brawl.
Absolutely. It's not just a battle of two excellent teams, but two perhaps of the best pitching staffs in the nation. You have Carlin Pickens, Aaron Newer, and Sage Marcheco. Equally talented pitching staff on the other side for Alabama as well. Runs will be at a premium this weekend at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. A lot to expect, but big things, big opportunity for the Lady Vols if they can capitalize. First pitch is set tomorrow for 4 p.m. However, there's a little bit of rain perhaps in the forecast. Be sure to check up with Lady Vols softball on social media for updates regarding the start of the game. That's all we have for you from Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. Back to the desk.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now we head over to the golf course as the Lady Volunteers made history this week after capturing their first SEC championship in program history.
After winning match play over Oklahoma and number 4 Texas A&M, Tennessee advanced to the finals to face off against number 8 Auburn. The Lady Vols won 3-2. Sophie Christopher and Sophie Angeseth captured early wins for Tennessee, and Kyra Van Can secured the win for the Lady Vols to bring them their first ever SEC championship. Next up, the Lady Vols will look to keep their momentum rolling as they head to the NCAA Regionals, which will take place May 11th through May 13th.
Now let's head over to the hardwood, where things are certainly changing for Tennessee men's basketball with a lot of transfer portal movement. Loyola power forward Miles Rubin, California point guard Ramblers Day-Day Ames, VCU point guard Terrence Hill Jr., Notre Dame combo guard Jalen Harrelson, and Belmont shooting guard Tyler Lundblade are all set to don the orange and white this coming season. Now a big question that remained on everybody's mind was whether or not Nate Amon would be back next year. And well, we got that answer yesterday, as Amon announced himself that he would be entering his name into the 2026 NBA Draft. The offseason moves haven't just been for players, however, as Coach Rick Barnes also hired Earl Grant as assistant coach to transform this roster even more.
That is all for the Rocky Top Sports Report this week. Let's head back to the desk for more.
Thanks, Jordan. Nothing beats meeting Tennessee icons face-to-face, and that's exactly what the Big Orange Caravan is all about.
That's right, Caitlin. University of Tennessee coaches and personalities are hitting the road to connect with ball fans across the state and thanking them for their support and build excitement for the year ahead. For more, here's our Connor Whitney.
Nothing beats going to see people in that old-fashioned way, shaking hands and kissing babies and letting them know that they matter.
Big Orange Caravan is an opportunity for figures like Mike Keith and Rick Barnes to connect with the fans.
You're literally heading to their town to say thank you to them in person and to energize them to come back and see you on your campus and take part in University of Tennessee athletics.
We always talk about how much we appreciate their support and what they do for our program, and just being out there and feeling their enthusiasm, and it really it's fun a couple days that we get to go do this.
They have an opportunity to have pictures taken, because I remember as a kid I got to go to a couple of these events. I think I was like 8 or 9, and I mean, I thought I had just seen the biggest movie stars in the world.
It also provides another opportunity to directly see their passion.
You certainly don't want to take for granted how that fan base supports you on a day-to-day basis and what they're about and that passion, and to keep them as involved as they are.
Whether it's basketball, football, women's basketball, whatever, they love the volunteers. I tell everybody that I think that we've got the best fans because it's not just one sport, they're all everything here, and we appreciate it.
Reporting from Knoxville, Connor Whitney, TVC News.
Yeah, the Big Orange Caravan gives fans a chance to meet their favorite coaches, take photos, and celebrate. It's all about keeping that strong connection between the program and the volunteer fan base.
We know him as the voice of the Vols, but his son is making a name for himself on screen.
How you get people interested in a product you're selling.
Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, has built a career around telling stories live.
But his son Matthew Keith is building his own path in Los Angeles.
I've written 2 episodes on CBS's The Neighborhood sitcom with Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield.
Matthew's journey didn't start in the writer's room. It started with the behind-the-scenes work that keeps a production running.
I initially started the job as the writer's PA. I asked the showrunners if I could write, and they eventually teamed me up with the showrunner's assistant, and we co-wrote that script.
Storytelling wasn't something new. It was already a part of home.
He was very much a supportive figure there, pushing me to do it. More of a supporter than I could have imagined.
You know, you see his name on the screen at the end of an episode of The Neighborhood that he's written. Certainly you're proud of that. More so, though, you're excited that he's getting to do what he wants to do.
While Mike Keith's voice has become a staple in Tennessee sports, his son Matthew is creating stories of his own, this time on screen.
I've really recognized that we're more of the same than I thought. You know, I've always kind of thought it's like football.
Different platforms.
TV, you know.
Different audiences.
He's entertainment.
Same foundation.
It's pretty special to see my name on a screen and say written by, but I kind of can't help but be reminded that every single person around me has gotten me here, whether it's my family and my friend.
In Knoxville, Drea Peebles, TVC News.
Very loud and bright. I remember actually like as soon as it started, and then I like teared up because I was like so excited.
How some aerospace students found themselves a unique landing spot.
In a very hot and dry East Tennessee right now, but good news, rain on the way. We'll break it down when we come back.
Vols, the Volunteer Channel works around the clock to curate UT news, sports, and event coverage. Best way to stay on top of all of it is to follow our Instagram at TVC News Now. You can scan this QR code right here to get right to the page. All of our content is created by UT students with the Big Orange community in mind. Volunteer Channel thanks you for your support. Go Vols.
Well, so much for April showers. You've probably noticed the lack of rainfall here in East Tennessee. I'll tell you why. We got a drought right now. Right here you can see UT and Knox County in that moderate drought area. As you head south towards Georgia, that's that extreme drought. That's why you're seeing some of the wildfires. And you've got that severe drought kind of wrapping it around. But like I said, good news on the way. Tomorrow we can see here, if we'll go back, tomorrow we can see some rain chances. Saturday, you'll see kind of a dip in temperatures too, but Saturday is your chunk chance for rain. 100% chance of precipitation forecasted by the NWS. That'll dip temperatures. Sunday and Monday, you can see here, those temperatures rise back up. Versus last week, you saw a really cool start to the week, 60s and 70s. Not the case this week. We'll take a look at your walk into class Monday. Very cool morning, but it'll heat up really quickly. High of 81, sunny for most of the day, but you do have a chance of storms after 2 p.m. So if you're walking to class maybe later in the day, don't forget maybe an umbrella, maybe a jacket. But most importantly, focus on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. That's the good times. Have a good and safe weekend, and most importantly, go Vols.
Thanks, Luke. Looks like a great weekend. A little bit of rain. It's okay.
Yeah, sad about that part. With the end of the semester approaching, many students will be moving out of their dorms and back home. But it's what they're leaving behind that may be more important. Our Grayson Thatcher has more on the story.
UT reclaimed about 3,000 tons of material last year, but 7,000 tons still made its way to a landfill. And the majority of what UT students tossed during move out was never even opened or used. UT Sustainability Outreach Coordinator Wyatt Miner says the university is already on track to generate even more waste this year, largely because enrollment keeps climbing. Chris Mayer leads the Dumpster Treasures project. He sorted through everything thrown out during spring 2025 move out and was surprised by what he found.
All manner of office supplies, all manner of fans, air filters, new air filters, clothing that's new in the packaging. You can see me wearing hats, whatever.
Now, since last year's move out, the Office of Sustainability has added more drivers and bought more equipment to help organize and transport what gets collected. UT says one of the best ways to keep items out of a landfill is by donating or finding ways to reuse them. In Knoxville, Grayson Thatcher, TVC News.
A group of students are finally getting settled back in after a trip to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida to watch the Artemis II launch.
Former Vol quarterback and aerospace engineering graduate Josh Dobbs sponsored a group of students to watch the historic mission. Our Luke Lamery spoke to them about their experience.
Roger, roll pitch.
There was something in the air that day where it was like, you were sitting there, it's the nicest day you can even imagine, like perfectly blue skies, not a cloud, nothing, weather was perfect. Just everyone there was just excited, and there was a really good energy in the air.
So we got an email saying that he was interested in taking a handful of aerospace seniors to go watch the Artemis II launch. So I ran down stairs. My sister lives in a unit below me. And I was like, Kylie, it's happening. I'm getting to go to Florida and watch a rocket launch.
I was just kind of shocked. I was a Steelers fan, and Josh Dobbs was on the Steelers. So for that, I was like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. He spent the entire 5 days with us that we were there. He was pretty much there with us, stayed in the same hotel, rode in the same van, even drove us a couple times.
I mean, you can tell he's very passionate about aerospace and has all these connections with NASA and keeps up with them.
What were you thinking when the rocket was in the air?
I don't know if I had thoughts going through my mind, honestly. It was just pure this is what I'm seeing. Really felt yeah, this is what I was meant to do.
Very loud and bright. I remember actually as soon as it started, and then I teared up because I was so excited. So thankful for his whole family. His parents were there, and their foundation, just the work they're doing, providing, us with such an incredible experience.
I don't know if there's words for it. I will never be able to thank them enough, and they are just overall great people who are trying to do great things, and with their position, they are making great things happen.
The group of 7 students spent 4 days in Cape Canaveral and also got a tour of NASA facilities, Kennedy Space Center, as well as other test areas and prototype labs.
One UT student is heading to one of the most prestigious events in journalism after earning a national honor. For most student journalists, covering national politics is a future goal, but for one student, that moment is already here.
Gail Fanning, a political science and journalism student, also a TVC reporter, has been selected as the 2026 recipient of the Carter Holland Memorial Scholarship, awarded by the White House Correspondents Association. The honor puts her among a select group of student journalists nationwide and includes an invitation to this week's White House Correspondents events in Washington, D.C. As a transfer student and the first reporter from the Volunteer Channel to receive the award, Fanning says the moment still feels surreal. She says she first shared the news with her mom, keeping it a secret for months.
It is crazy that I'm going to be at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So much has happened over the past year for me, and now I'm going to D.C. and representing over 40,000 students. It's incredible.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Caitlin Kirkpatrick.
And I'm Aubrey Curran.
And as always,
go Vols!